We're live. Yes, sir. What's going on?
We're live.
We're live.
That means people can hear us
That's it.
and they're listening.
They are listening
What's
in.
up, people?
What's going on? So,
Wow. It's
we
great
had
to be live. It's
great
great
to
to
be
be
live.
alive.
Great to be alive. So, talk to
So,
me. We went to a bunch of events this past weekend.
of course I did, because I'm all over the place. All right. So this past weekend, Fist of Fury at the Hard Rock. Really good fights all night. And because Maureen Shea was fighting, there were a lot of people. There was a pretty big crowd for her. Um, Unfortunately, the judges gave the decision to her opponent. I thought she won the fight, or at least a draw. It was a 6 rounder. They changed the opponent on her. I think at the day of the fight, and she was preparing for an 8 round fight. So yeah, that's the first fight she lost in 15 years. So she'll be
Yeah.
back. She'll recover. She's a champion. So we look forward to seeing her again. There were two brothers that just made their pro debut, um, and they're both really exciting fighters, and they had an opportunity to fight for regional WBC belts. So the WBC representative was there to give these two kids. They were 19-year-old twin brothers. Um, they won their first belts in their pro debuts.
Nice.
Now, yeah, so I I think they were from Mexico or Nicaragua. Yeah, they were from Mexico, and they had good amateur careers. They both fought in the Olympic trials, but I think I don't think they made the finals or whatever. But they were good. The main event, Yasiel Napoli's, that was a great fight. So all in all, it was a really good night. There were a lot of people out there. My whole family was there. Well, my sister and my son and his friends were there. They had a great time, all supporting, of course, our friends at the Heavyweight Factory and all the great fighters, the local fighters here, man. It was good stuff.
Nice. And did you gamble after or?
Gamble.
Yeah, gamble.
Kids,
Was
don't
that a
gamble.
casino?
You're just going to lose your money. Yeah, we gamble a little.
Yeah. And how'd you do?
A little bit. But nothing at the degenerate level.
Mm.
Yeah.
Was
So
was the Hard Rock crowded? How was the Hard Rock?
it was a decent crowd for a fight at the Hard Rock. It wasn't as big as they didn't draw a bigger crowd as BYB did at the Charles Knight Center down there. But it was a decent sized crowd. A lot of people screaming. Again, Maureen sold, I think, $13,000 worth of tickets.
Nice.
Yeah. So all in all, it was good stuff. And that Fist of Fury series, they're doing a really good job with it. They're showcasing a lot of local fighters. I really want to see where these two twin brothers go. It's exciting to see guys that are just starting out. They're both, again, like I said, 19 years old.
So what kind of belt did they win if it was their debut?
They were both, regional WBC belts. I think the Intercontinental. The guy was speaking so quickly on the mic, so it was either the Continental or Intercontinental WBC belts, and I think they were both they were flyweights actually. So they were like 112 pounds or 116 pounds or whatever.
Mm.
Yeah. But they were both good. So we'll see them again. One of them had a lot tougher fight than the other one. But I mean, to fight for a regional belt like that in your debut is pretty good.
Right. But I just don't understand how they could fight for a belt. Original.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
you know
first.
it's boxing.
So
It's
winner the belt was held up, and the winner of this fight gets the belt. And
Yeah, they
one
actually
for
won two. They won two belts each. One of them was a WBC belt. The other one was, I forget which the other one was, but they won two belts each.
okay,
Two titles. Two brothers, two titles.
nice.
Yeah,
And then that was Friday night,
that was Friday night.
and then Saturday night you had another event.
No,
You had
I did not. I was going to. Well, Um, I watched M&R
yeah,
because yeah, you had Bryce on there. Who is he coming on tonight or?
Bryce is at work right now.
All right, and Jared Grant made his pro debut.
Yeah, at boxing, which I've seen him in the amateurs box.
Yes, we've seen
Yeah.
him a bunch of times in the amateur and in his bare knuckle career. Is he coming on tonight?
Uh, Last minute, his son wasn't feeling so well. So he had to take him to go see the doctor, but he might come on later.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope everything's okay with his son. Um, yeah, but I watched that on their feed on YouTube, and Elia Carranza was on it. She won her fight against a former world champion. Ryan Schwartzberg won his fight, and it's always exciting to see that. You know, Ryan is he's a local favorite. You know, everyone that knows him likes him because of his work ethic. You know, he works hard in the gym. He spars with all the local fighters. You know, and you know it's good to see him get a win.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
congrats, Ryan.
let's
Yeah,
call Ryan. Let's call Ryan right now.
give him a ring.
Let's get him on. Let's get
Get
him
that
on.
guy on the phone. You calling him?
I'm calling him.
Yeah.
Let's see what we come up with. Straight to voicemail. How you
Yeah.
living?
So, in other boxing news, I just saw today that the Berlanga Canelo pay per view is $90.
$90. And guess who we have?
89.99.
Look who we have here. The boxing
89.99
reporter. $89 to watch Belenga fight
versus Canelo.
Canelo. Now, if Canelo told Berlanga, I'll give you $25 million fight if you get knocked out in the sixth, does he take that money?
What? What kind? What?
What?
Repeat that.
No, I said it's going to be some banger.
It is. Okay. And
Because you got a guy, but like Berlanga, yeah, he didn't fight anyone with a name like Canelo, but he went like 16-0 with all first round knockouts, something like that.
yeah, 16, 17 and 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got strength and he's got, he's younger than Canelo, obviously. So he has a chance. There's always a puncher's chance. He's a puncher, so he's got a chance. If whether or not he can stay away from Canelo just seems to, always with certain exceptions, like, if he's fighting someone like Bivol, to just wear you down and eventually find the knockout. And unfortunately, I kind of think that's what's going to happen with Berlanga. All right, now I like Berlanga, I do, um, and I definitely wish him luck, and I'm glad he's getting his payday. And who knows, he could pull off an upset. What do you think, Mike?
Well, hey, Fighting News, how you guys doing tonight?
Yeah, enough of the pleasantries. What do you think of Berlanga and Canelo?
All I heard was the last 5 seconds of what you said, but yeah.
Doesn't matter what I say. We're asking you. What do you think?
Well, I don't really understand why this has to be the opponent right now.
He's a mandatory.
Canelo
Apparently.
says, oh, Canelo already gave up one of his belts, so what the hell's the difference to him? It's trying about making big fights. It's supposed to be about making big fights. So, not to say that Berlanga hasn't earned anything. He has. He had a bit of a cushion record early on, but obviously he was trying to step up the competition a little bit. We all know he got the notoriety from, what was 18 first-round knockouts through his first 18 fights, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And, obviously then he went to distance a few times, and they were, I don't want to say they were B-rated opponents. I never want to, pull anybody down. But it wasn't like the big name kind of opponents that he was fighting at that time where he had to go the distance, where he even struggled a little bit in a couple of the fights.
Right.
So he's still young. And it's kind of like when Canelo had to fight Mayweather. I just think he was a little too young. He wasn't really prepared and ready for it yet. And I think that maybe what happens with Berlanga here, he definitely can get off some good shots, but Canelo's going to go to the body all day long, and he's going to try to test it out and see what Berlanga's made of.
What's the odds on going to be on that fight?
I haven't looked it up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I'd be interested.
$100 to win 1,000.
No, I would say he's probably like -7. I'm just throwing a number out there, like -750 or something.
Yeah.
Hopefully they give Berlanga enough credit to even put him there.
So we have a special guest tonight that's right down below. He is in the backstage waiting to come on. We have Ryan, the Lion Schwartzberg, who's coming off of a win this past weekend, and we're going to bring him on in 10 seconds. Yo, Ryan.
Over the years. There he is.
What's up, fam?
What's going on, Ryan? We're just
What's
talking
up?
about you.
Man, well, that's what's up. I'm always thinking about you guys. Hey, yo, we got one just recently, man. Appreciate all the support.
Yeah, congrats on the win, man. I saw it. I was watching it on YouTube. I had my Instagram live on, so there were a couple other people. I had people down from Argentina that were watching you fight,
Yeah,
they'd never
man,
even
that's
heard
cool.
of M&R before, so.
Yeah, that's badass, man, because, I was fighting behind this team called the Cobra, and he had all his people from Nicaragua that were like watching him on the big screen out there.
Yeah.
And it was a primarily like Latino production, with the main event, even being Elia representing Puerto Rico, and there was just a nice mix of Latino crowd. But nevertheless, man, those are some of the best boxing fans, best fight fans. It was a great night. Some good
definitely.
fights. You had guys like Bryce Henry and Jared the Kid Gotti out there. They did their thing that night. I got to go right after them. It was Jared. Jared went first and made his pro boxing debut.
Nice.
And somehow he was on the B side, which I don't even understand. Jared, the bare knuckle champ. Okay, so that kid he just destroyed his opponent in the second round. And then Bryce Henry went, and he went and fought a guy that had like 60 pro fights, and he took him out with a body shot in the second round. And then I went, and I think I got the only first round finish that night. So yeah.
Yeah. So what I saw your fight as well. So what happened that the ref stopped it without giving him a count?
That was something that I felt kind of, it's like a bittersweet feeling. It's like, all right, you win. But then it's like, yo, you kind of robbed me of like, my experience. Like we were just getting going. You didn't even give this kid a second chance. It's like he did warn him while we were fighting and said, hey, stop turning your back, stop turning away, and I just felt that he saw that this kid wasn't recovering from this body shot that I hit him with. I hit him with a body shot, and he did the, and then he was kind of breathing like letting the ref know he was hurt and shit. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I thought maybe he should have got at least a standing count, or
Yeah,
if
that's
he
what I
didn't,
was thinking.
let me put him down, if you know
Let
what
me
I'm
put him
saying.
down. If you know
So
what I'm saying.
I'm not too sure.
I,
It felt like hey, but it did feel like I was just overpowering him, and there was no chance for him. So I guess the ref did the right thing. Some of these refs I can agree are on like the new, like modern, stopping things before fighters get like knocked out. Because there were some deaths even just this year. So I guess they're some of them are more old school, and some of them are more stop it if you can see that it's completely one-sided. But
Yeah.
can I do, man? I'm the one just throwing the punches. I didn't see that coming, but hey,
Yeah,
I did what I had to do.
we got the
Yeah.
dub. We got the win.
It was all body
Yeah, on
shots
to the
all
next.
night.
Yeah, man, on to the next, man. I don't know, maybe the ref just wasn't feeling that violence. He just didn't want to see any more. Felt like save the kid for another day or something. Maybe they were boys. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and when a fighter turns his back on the fighter, the ref immediately says, like I gotta step in because that's dangerous, as well. Just turning around.
Yeah, I could totally see, like, from his point of view, if you're seeing a guy get pummeled and he's just doing nothing but covering up, and the sides of his head are open because he's turning away, and yeah, he's getting bombed in the body, and and
Yeah.
it's not intelligently defending yourself. So yeah, I guess that's a reason to get stopped. I was gonna put him down, but hey, the ref saved him before he could hit the canvas, I guess. So.
Yeah. You got to look out for the safety of the fighters there, man. He was just doing his job.
Yeah, I totally don't blame him, and I don't need the vicious highlight. I proved that every time this dude tried to strike at me, I just attacked. Instead of just like lulling and kind of moving around. Like every time this dude threw a jab, I just ducked in and boom, boom, boom. Bodied him up. So I just took advantage of every time this dude's arms left his body, and the fight it didn't last because basically every one of those hit. So. It only takes a couple body shots, and this dude was a tall, skinny frame, so I knew I was going to the body. So
Yep. Good
another one
stuff.
bites the dust. On to the next.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good stuff.
What is next? What are you looking to do? To stay active?
Well, you know what, man? I'm gonna put it out there. I got some recognition from this company that just got they just got recognized by like the PBA, which is the associations that are tied to the WBO and the WBA and all of them, but it's the ICB. And I showed you that Steve, I think I showed you the ICB, the International Crossover Boxing League, and
Yeah.
it's like pros and influencer crossovers. And they got like, all these big fancy belts and stuff like that. And I said, hey man, because they have like some influencer fights on the cards, but then they match up the real boxers, so why don't I go fight one of the top ranked, like, big name, like actual boxers that are doing like the ICB crossover as well. I'll
Right.
fight them for the belt, so
Yeah.
I've been trying to manifest that. They ranked me number 10 in the world, pound for pound, in their ranking system. So I hit them up and said, all right, then put me up for a belt,
Yeah.
because all the other crossover dudes, they're like 1-2 or 0-1 or 1-0,
Yeah.
from
I
all
saw,
my
I saw
fights
you number
having.
4. You were number 4 on that list, weren't
We
you?
jumped up.
Weren't you number 4 on that list? You showed
Number
me
10, number 10,
number 10. Okay.
number
Uh,
10 pound for
Yeah.
pound. So, but
Yeah.
that that's it's cool to be recognized with that, with due to like the level of opponents I've been facing, and having entered the Misfits competitions one time. Misfits has actual pro fights in their influence cards, so it's not all exhibition. So I could
Right.
fight, not just like some influencer guys. You could find some real pros on some big cards that Days On is able to put on due to these influencers having, the following they have. So you have a couple of like, female influencers fight, maybe two porn stars fight, and then and like the last Misfit show, there was two porn stars that fought, and then me and Jahan Ingram fought, so it was
Yeah.
like influencer fights and then a real fight and then a Misfits fight, again.
Yeah.
So
And how was
Who's
that
doing that
experience?
ICB? Who's doing the ICB, Ryan?
I don't know who owns that company. I really don't like know who does it, but
Yeah.
Who was like the most famous person that was there that you saw?
at my fight, at the Misfits fight,
Yeah.
um, Jorge Linares.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
works with fighters down in Miami, right?
Yeah, I just seen him.
At the
I just seen him again. I actually didn't see him this time, but he was at my last fight, so that was cool. He was in the crowd there. He was there. A lot of the bare knuckle guys were there. Um, you got like, you know, shoot, I can't even think. It's just like some of the good coaches that are down here, that coach like some of the team combat, the
yeah.
team combat guys, like the Miami Assassin guys and stuff,
Yeah.
that big Cuban champion, that guy. He's what's that guy's name that just won the belt? What's that
Trujillo.
guy's name?
Trujillo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy,
Awesome.
So, but yeah, the influencer guys, they're primarily, a lot of them are known in like England and stuff like that. On the show that I was at, some of these kids you never heard before, like Ace Musa. He's an influencer. He's got over 100,000 followers on Instagram and stuff. A bunch of subscribers and stuff. But they're based out of like London.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was yeah, and then apparently those two chicks, they're well-known porn stars, but you know,
Yeah. Well, being that
uh,
you've been celibate for 2 years, you get any of
yeah,
those?
it's been just straight lion training. So but hey, that was still nice to look at.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
There you go. Yeah, keep us posted about this ICB thing. I think that's run by out of Tampa.
It's relatively
Yeah,
new, so we got to
yeah,
see what that's about. But I'm really putting a push towards there. But there's been a couple offers that come in, out of Philly, going back to Philly at the 2300 arena, going and fighting, a 5-0 kid, late September. That
yeah.
might be an option. So it's either an undefeated fighter or we start getting into a bracket for a belt somewhere, So that's where the Lions headed. But yeah, always
Yeah.
undefeated fighters, that's for sure.
There you go, man. There you go. Have you ever considered that team combat league or?
I thought that would be cool, man, because one round with me, I mean, I've never lost the first round. I don't even remember the first time I've ever lost the first round,
Yeah,
So if it's only one round to fight, I mean, I really can't imagine anyone beating me one round, So that's pretty interesting to consider, man. My boy HD, Howard Davis does it. So I mean, we've had some good sparring sessions together, me and that guy, and he does great in that league. So, you
yeah,
know, it's interesting
yeah.
though,
They're
man. In
cool.
that league, I was training down there with Raul Chirino over in his gym in Miami, where the Assassins are, and I believe they changed their name from like the Miami Assassins to Miami Stealth because in that league there's already been 2 deaths
Yeah,
this year,
yep,
and I believe it's due to just the high action, from just knowing you only have one round. Some of these guys are these boxers that enter these one round fights. They're coming from usually taking their time, they usually get warmed up and break their opponents down, but one
right.
round it's just like, these guys are getting knocked out, and I don't know. I'm a fast starter, so I think that that would play into my benefit. But I see a lot of these guys who are used to going the distance getting stopped in these first rounds, and I feel like I would stop a lot of these guys too in that league. So who knows, man? I've been
Yeah.
Alfred, I know the coaches that are out there, but it's just Miami's a little bit far from me from where I live. It's kind of a commute. That's why I wasn't
Yeah.
able to like hang out with the team that much.
Yeah, well, they travel too. They go to different cities.
Yeah, and to
Yeah,
to be part of the team for at least a little while to make a show happen would definitely be cool. And I hear they fight like every other weekend anyway. There's a lot of shows.
yeah, they do a lot. Yeah, they changed their name from the Miami Assassins after there was a death in the ring, uh,
So what do
in the
you think is
Miami
like
show.
the
You know.
yeah, so like what do you think is the factor? Like, is it just because like, it's like they're trying to get it all in one, round and you're not warmed up and you can get clipped and knocked out so
No,
severely that you die or
well, that particular fight, it was the matchmaker's fault because the opponent shouldn't have been in the ring. That opponent apparently was knocked out in sparring twice in the month preceding that fight. So knocked out, unconscious twice in a month.
not? That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and he fought Nestor Santana, the big Cuban heavyweight. Who you might have seen. I saw Nestor the other night at the Fist of Fury show. He's a strong guy. You know, so
Dude,
that's
that guy walked by us at the gym, and we were talking about it, and the coach was like, "Yeah, that guy, he killed somebody," and he just like walked right by me and went into the bathroom, and I was like,
yeah.
"Wow,
I
that's
know.
real."
I mean, yeah, I think about that, and you can't like say that that he killed someone, because he was boxing. He was just
Yeah, yeah,
boxing.
of course, but yeah, you
But
got
it
to
was
feel some
it was
type.
a horrible mismatch. It was a horrible mismatch, and that the opponent should have never been in the ring.
Yeah,
But when you get knocked out in sparring, then you go to the doctor and say, "Oh yeah, I'm fine." You're not
yeah,
fine.
that's on you.
Um,
Jeez.
yeah.
But
So
yeah,
I think,
that won't be me. I haven't been knocked out like that. You know what I'm saying? It's earlier in my career in boxing, it was the body shots that stopped me. I didn't know how to deal with like serious body shots from heavy body shot punchers. That was
yeah,
the only thing that really stopped me. And but now I really have a grip on this thing. I haven't been stopped in 2 years, so I don't really see myself getting stopped. It's either I beat you or we go the distance, and it's a close fight, and I busted you up.
yeah, man. So we
Yeah.
were talking about the Berlanga Canelo Alvarez fight. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts there?
I was listening a little bit about that and just like watching some like old highlights that get brought up of Berlanga getting knocked and dropped and the way he fights, compared to a Canelo, he's just he like you said, like I mean, respect to him for being on the board and fighting Canelo, but I feel like that's another mismatch. I feel like that's Canelo like taking him out in the eighth round, knowing exactly what he's doing.
Yeah,
I don't see Berlanga giving Canelo any bit of problem. I know he's a big brute, he's tough, but he's such a big target, and Canelo's gonna piece him up, dude. I'm sorry. It's just what I've learned about boxing and from what I've seen. I can tell what's about to happen, so it's okay. He's gonna.
This is
There's a
bigger
yeah.
reason why
That's
thing.
Canelo, I'm sure, wants to fight him at this stage.
He's getting paid
That
big
I'm
time,
sure.
big
Not
time.
as much as Canelo.
Not as much as Canelo, but
no.
it's gonna make him a millionaire, which he's probably close to it now. But
I mean,
uh,
it's very hard to pass these opportunities up. And like on a low scale, they do that to me all the time. Like, how am I gonna pass up like going on the Misfits card? It's like you know, on 2 days notice, you know,
Yeah,
and they'll do stuff like that for these guys, you know, because it's a life-changing experience. But meanwhile, Canelo is the one that's ready. It's in his timing, his favor. And you know, they give them time and this stuff, but it's all about the timing in their careers for the guys like that, you know. And at
yeah,
this point of the career, it's like Canelo's, you know, it's Canelo's win, you know, it's Canelo's the A side in this one. So that's just where
Yeah.
they're at, you know.
yeah.
But
What
that's what
was
they'll do.
Canelo?
They're gonna present you with money, and boxing's got money. So
What was Canelo? The B side once against Mayweather?
probably the only time ever against Mayweather. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
But Canelo got consistently better with almost every fight after that. You know, like every fight
Yeah.
after that, if you go back and look at his opponents, he was constantly improving. You know, that's why
Yeah.
I think I don't mind him fighting Berlanga. I think he can fight whoever he wants. You know, he fought Bivol. He took the loss there. You know,
Yeah, that was badass of him, you know. So it's like
yeah,
he's got to go on his run. He already proved, you know, it'd be like if he went up to fight Benavidez, it would be just like another B-ball type thing, you know.
yeah.
I think those
I
guys are
mean,
big, you know, big, powerful, and can take a punch, and they're gonna give one back, you know, just like Canelo. So I think
yep.
that those are the only type of guys that are beating Canelo right now, you know, those big dudes.
Oh yeah, yep.
I think you know Berlanga is kind of like a junior Benavidez. I mean, I think he's got that same type of style as you said, Ryan, kind of like that brute mentality. And I think it'd be
Yeah,
interesting, you know, just to kind of see what Canelo does, how he does what he does against him. It's almost like Canelo's kind of sparring him just to be prepared for that Benavidez that he knows is going to come. So
yeah,
it's
it's like
curious to kind of see how he can take the power back because he really
yeah,
hasn't had a lot of power. He's been dealing with more with accuracy and you know punches and bunches. But it'd be, I guess, it could be an interesting fight just to kind of see from that outside perspective. You know, we all kind of predicted the fight already. We know what's going to happen, but
yeah,
how is he going
Canelo already told you what was gonna happen. He told you eighth round. I agree. Like with a guy like Berlanga, like he'll feel accomplished like when he goes eight rounds, and then Canelo's gonna turn it up. That's
right?
what I'm gonna say. He's done it in the past, and this is the perfect like
Yeah,
opponent to do that on, you know?
And Berlanga can get, you know, technically a quote unquote a win out of it, you know, if he can actually prove that he's worthy of being up there. You know, look what I did. You know, I was able to get to Canelo. I was able to bother him a little bit. You know, I stuck with him for a while. I can take the power. You
If
know,
he takes him the distance, then he gets a lot of respect.
right.
If Canelo doesn't take him out,
yeah,
because Canelo should take him out.
Yeah.
yeah. If he goes the
So if he takes
distance,
him the
definitely,
distance,
then his
Yeah, it'd
stock
be
that's
is
respect.
still up.
in that aspect, I think it'd
Yeah,
be interesting. But you know, I want to go back to some because I don't want
right.
to cut anybody off, but I want to go back, Ryan. And we were talking about those 1 round fights a little while ago, and then we kind of shifted back over to Canelo. But I want to talk about your 1 round fight. So I took notes down of all the fights that I saw that night in your card. And what I saw in here, I said you smothered him, and that's the way I saw that fight. You were on top
Yeah.
of him. You didn't let him breathe. And you know, you showed a lot of boxing skill because you backed up when you needed to, and you just came right at him when you caught it. And I didn't see him throw a punch. Did he even throw one? Because
Well, the
he was
thing
busy
was,
trying to.
every time he threw a punch, it was like a long jab, and I just ducked under and just attacked. You know,
Yeah,
I literally didn't waste one opportunity to attack this man. So, you know, I just seen, and that was my plan from the beginning to go to the body because he was a long, slender build. The kid was like 6'2", came in a couple pounds overweight. He was just a big dude, you know. So I was like, yo, this long body is mine. So. I just deduped that up, and I saw that made him crunch over, and he made the noise, you know, the noise, and I just like a shark, you know, that smelled blood. I just kept going, you know, and
right.
a lion that you know seen a weakness, you know, I just kept going, attacking that point, and I just you know finally succumbed, and I would have just ate his neck right there, ripped his artery out, and just devoured him.
That's the thing, man. I kept seeing him just twist and turn, trying to get away. Like it was too much all at once for him. You know, he didn't get that chance, and you know, who knows, you know, if he had been able to go the extra 51 seconds or whatever it was left in that round and, you know, come in for round 2, maybe he could have shook it off a little bit and try to come in and stand his ground. But it didn't look like it from where we were standing, you know.
I know,
He
you
didn't, he
know,
didn't let it get to
sometimes
that.
like, yeah, you could just overwhelm them. But you know, a lot of people like don't like can't like gauge like how quick I actually am. Like, so I'll stand right in front of you and they throw a jab at me and then shoot, you know, air, you know, and I'm attacking you at the same time. And they're like, whoa, hell no, that was a fluke. And then I throw another jab and then shoot, bang, you know, and like I'm really quick with that reflex, you know. You could say I got cat-like reflexes in that department, you know. So like, you know, when these guys hit air 3-4 times and they get cracked in the body, you know, that's enough to make you rethink your whole career right there, you know. Like
Sure.
they can't hit you, you're getting hit, they don't know what to do and just to hold on, you know. And so that was this case, and we got him out of there quick. That was it.
Yeah. No, well done for sure. Congratulations on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
good
didn't even
stuff.
feel like I was going too crazy either. I thought like I was pretty chill, you know.
Yeah.
I was thinking, yo, let this guy back out. I'm gonna like tame it a little bit and set up a real boom, a real big one. But you know, hey, I guess you know I'll save that one for next one.
That's right. Keep something in the bag.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of tricks in the bag. I mean, I definitely got durability and endurance in me, and I'm really looking forward to like putting together combos, you know. So I'm really looking forward to put together those body down lows and then bam up top. So definitely look out for that in my next one. And next
Nice.
one's always soon for me. So I'm not hurt. I'm ready to go again, and I'll be happy to see you guys out there on the next one, man.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah,
sir.
let
So what
us
are you
know.
doing in
Keep us posted.
what are you doing in Virginia, Ryan?
Yeah, yeah, I'm actually about to go home and pack up. I got an early flight tomorrow. My boy is I'm going up to one of my sponsors that helped me out for this fight actually. But he's building another spec house up there, and I helped him on the first one a little bit, so I'm going up there to help out on the second one. And he's got a couple other farm projects to help out with, but it's basically a bunch of farm work. So
Yeah. What kind
gonna
of
go up
house
there, train, do a bunch of farm work, make a little money, and prepare for the next fight, you know.
Nice, nice. And which sponsor is this, Ryan?
This is Quiet Pine Farms. This
Okay, and
is
what are you yeah, what are you building? What are you a log house or like
well,
a
it's not it's not made of log houses, but like it's in a town called Matthews County in Virginia, which is like like a town that's just old and it's got a lot of stuff that needs to be remodeled, redone. And there's just a lot of opportunity out there, a lot of old people that are dying off that don't fix nothing, you know. So the new age is coming in to try and like renovate the city, and you know, you could become a prominent name out there. So my boy, he's almost the mayor out there. He's been there for about 6 years, him and his wife, and you know, he's got a son now, and they're digging roots out there, you know. So I really just appreciate what they're doing, and they're a powerhouse team out there. So I just be going out there every now and then, you know. They have me come out, and his son is my godson, you know. So it's family, you know.
nice. All right. So
Yeah.
have a safe trip.
Yes,
Um,
sir. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, man. And Steve, thank you so much for your support, man, dude. Everyone was saying we were looking sharp, man. Our gear was on point, and
that's
you know, I'm just a proud representative, you know, of the fighting news and all my people behind me. So thank you guys so much for the support. You know, appreciate it.
thanks for coming on, Ryan.
Yeah,
Congratulations with
man.
your victory.
Love you guys,
Yeah.
man. I'll see you on the
Congrats, bud.
next one. I'll keep
All
you
right.
in touch, and next one's the best one. So
All right.
God bless, guys. Take care, man.
Thanks,
Good.
Ryan.
All right, take it easy, Ryan.
So
Oh, there's Mike.
Hey.
What's up, Mike?
so yeah, so his fight wasn't that long. We didn't get to see a lot of them, but you know, at that other boxing company he was talking about was the Misfits. And basically what they do is they do the amateur and they do the pro
Yeah.
fights.
Correct.
And they have, you know, the amateur fights, the commission comes for the amateur fights, and then the commission leaves, and then a new commission comes in for the professional fights.
Right.
So, but no, they seemed to be a very, very crowded place where they were at. So, and they got TV rights, so it's a pretty big show. They were
For
on
the Misfits.
primetime TV. Yeah.
Yeah, that's because you know, those influencers. Some of them have, you know, they have a lot of fans. You know, so they sell a lot of seats. But
Yep.
you know, personally, none of them can fight. You know.
Yeah.
So it kind of takes away from it, but
yeah. And what do we have? What do you have coming up? What boxing fights do we have coming up?
That's a good
local
question.
events like that we're going to.
No, boxing events.
International. Well, who's coming up? Shakur Stevenson is going to defend his belt again soon. I can't remember the exact date of that one. It may still be a few weeks out. And we were talking about Bivol earlier, right? Bivol and Beterbiev, you know, we're still waiting for that one to come together. Matt, is that still back in November now? Is that when they pushed it back to? Do you remember? I think it's still a little bit out, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact date. No.
But it's out there a bit. But I don't know. You know, the bigger name fighters. So you got Canelo and Berlanga. You know, that one's coming up. We talked about that. That's just around the corner. Mexican Independence Day. I don't know. The other big fights, you know, it's eluding me right now to think of the big names that are out there right now that are coming back out.
Did you see Francis Ngannou's coming back into the ring?
I did hear about that, but that is coming back for MMA.
He's coming back for MMA against Ferreira, which is the champ of the PFL. So that's going to be an interesting fight. And you know, it's funny. Like you want to see intercompany fight each other. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say UFC guys versus
Bellator.
You know, Bellator or something like that. So their champ versus this champ. But unless the guy leaves the company, you never get to see the fights you want to see.
Right.
You know, like the best of the best, you know, they never do interchanging leagues, you know, which they should, of course, because that's the fights everyone want to see.
Yeah.
You know,
boxing finds a way, right? You know, like Top Rank and Golden Boy didn't like each other for the million years.
Yeah.
But then they came back and they had, you know, they brought their fighters out and they did it. So Matchroom, Matt and I were just talking about this the other night. Matchroom and Queensberry, right? The two biggest promotions overseas right now. You know, they're very separated. There's a line drawn in the sand between their guys, but they had that Riyadh series where Turkey, I forget his, I was never remember his last name. You know what I'm talking about. He came out and he said, we're going to do this Riyadh series. We're going to have Queensberry versus Matchroom, and it's going to be a point system. You know, winner gets this many points, knockouts are this many points. And they had all the fighters from each of the promotions fight each other, and whoever won at the end of the night, which ended up being Queensberry, wins a $3 million bonus.
Yeah.
And it was great because there's a lot of skin in the game, and it was, you know, and they have all the money in the world in Saudi Arabia to do it. So it was great. It was a great event. You know, there were great fights because you're talking about they put their best against their best in each weight class. And need to see more things like that. I mean, think about something like that, like UFC and Bellator or whatever the promotion you want to use, and say they put their heavyweight champs against each other, and their light heavyweight champs, and their middleweight champs.
Yeah.
Do it all one night, you know, and see how it goes. And that's, you know, that'll turn everybody's head. I don't care if you're not an MMA fan, you'll still watch. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And by the time the fighters eventually get to fight in the leagues that everyone wanted to see them in, they're you know, too old. You know, they're not at the top of their game.
That's why I like PFL system too. You know, I wasn't really keen to everything PFL was doing. until they had come down to the Hard Rock a couple of years ago, right? And then they had the finals literally right here near us. And it was the first PFL event I ever saw. And we saw it live at the Hard Rock, and it was the finals. And 4 people walked away with $1 million purse at the end of the night, you know?
Yeah.
It was great because they're not getting paid anywhere near that amount of money for the fights they have, you know, preliminarily to get to that fight. But it's all, you know, everything right there all at once at the end in the finals. You're fighting to get to that point, and you become a millionaire overnight.
You fight the whole year though to get to there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, so you're sacrificing a lot to get to that point to make it there.
Right.
And then you get there, and it's like, you know, everything paid off once you walk away with that W. And if you don't, then, you know, you go back to the drawing board and you're that much hungrier. But that was great. I thought that was a great event. You know, I thought it was put on really well, and it was a great concept. Just the idea of even being, you know, doing something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
and their best woman that won that event, Kayla Harrison, you know, she fought a bunch of times. I think she won it twice at least, maybe even 3 times. The $1 million, and then, you know, UFC wanted to put her contract was up with PFL, and then she signed with UFC because, you know, UFC was like, she's your best. We want to put her up against our best, you know, and now she's in the UFC.
That's it.
We'll see.
Yeah. But that's it. You know, it's what we need. We need promotions coming with unique ideas. You know, it's like, you know, PFL is known for this, and then, you know, this company's known for that, and that company's known for that. And so you know what you're getting, so it's not the same repetition. But when you do have that repetitious type of style of promotions, you do want to see the best go up against the best. Like I said, Top Rank against Golden Boy and Matchroom against Queensberry. You want to see that. And that's how you get. You know, it's difficult. It's always been like that for many years in the sport, that you can't get people to cross that line. That, you know, oh, I don't work with his guys, and we don't work with those guys. And ESPN always just simply talks about top ranked fighters. They rank all the top ranked fighters as the number 1 guy. If you have the WBO belt, ESPN says you're the number 1 in that division. You know, like they don't really pay much attention. They don't care about the WBC, WBA unless you also have the WBO.
Well, that's the way it is, Mike. And then they don't want to, you know, they don't want to cross promote either.
Right. Yeah, they don't.
Yeah. And especially when you're dealing with all those egos, you know, like Oscar De La Hoya and Bob Arum, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, with the, but you know what? I've seen signs that people are kind of getting sick of Turkey, Al Sheikh also, you know. And there's, you know, maybe a little kind of jealous that he seems to be the one calling the shots. And not everyone wants to play by his rules, you know? And he brings the money, but his shows aren't the best. I mean, I was really disappointed with that, you know, that last show that I had to sit through an M&M performance to get to the main event.
Oh.
Which ended up going on. You're talking about the East Coast of the United States of America, you know, and you have to wait until 1:00 in the morning for the main event because Eminem has to sing for half an hour, 45 minutes. Who gives a crap about that? You know?
Well, if you were
but
there,
the thing is, but here it is. Turkey wants it because he wants to hang out with Eminem and he wants to show off how, you know, how great he is. Look at me with the rap stars, you know? Because nobody else in Saudi Arabia gets to see rap stars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, like you said, he's got the money. He calls the shots. He's trying to make it entertaining. You know, he wants to make a show out of it. You know, but at least he's doing things that other people are putting shows together that aren't doing. He's putting shows together and he's bringing the best fighters out there. You know, who can say that they're
but are those fighters giving their best performances? You give a guy, you know, you pay him double what any other promoter will pay him. You know, you're paying these guys $20 million. They don't have to fight for another couple. You're making $20 million. They're not going to go in there and give that. You think Crawford gave his best performance that night?
Well, apparently he
You know,
didn't. That's what talk has been about, right?
or look at Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz, when he went in there, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they're fighting, you know, as well for this guy, or even Tyson Fury. Look at how Tyson Fury was clowning around with Usyk. You don't
Yeah.
clown around with a guy like Usyk. But Tyson Fury's like, yeah, this guy's paying me a lot of money. I don't have to fight again. He's like, Tyson Fury's like, I wasn't going to fight again anyway, you know?
Well, yeah, well, I guess that was part of it, though, right? You want to be a showman because you know you want to provide that entertainment because you're probably told you need to entertain, not just fight, right? So you want to see it. You want to see it. That's what they bring. I mean, look, Fury has all the followers he has is because he's entertaining, because he does what he does, because he gets wins and then he sings in the ring afterward. You know, you
Right.
want to see it. I don't know, you know, but
But
Fury
he could
also
have won that fight. He could have, you know, he could have won that fight if he didn't
right.
spend
Well,
as much time dancing on the ropes, you know?
but that was the other part of it, right? Fury has never lost a fight. Up to that point, he had never lost a fight all those years that he's been fighting professionally.
But
And
he's
so
got
he's
$20
not,
million already
he's,
before that.
but he's not familiar with a loss. He doesn't know what it's about. So have a rematch. What's going to happen in the rematch? Will he, you know, be more serious and say, look, you know, entertaining is one thing, but you know, nobody's going to pay attention if I'm not the champ anymore and all the eyes aren't on me. So maybe I need to get
Well,
those
he
belts.
lost the fight, but it wasn't a real fight, but he lost the fight.
Well, okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
you
about
know?
that. Because like I said, from a boxing fan's perspective, someone who analyzes it, you have to look at it and say, he actually did win those rounds. He may not have landed the harder shots, but he did enough to win the rounds, and he was experienced enough to know that. And Ganu didn't do enough to win the rounds. He was just throwing like, you know, bullish shots. And it was great. He looked great doing it. I mean, he got to fight with Anthony Joshua, but exactly what happened with him and Anthony Joshua is what would have really happened if Tyson Fury thought it was a real fight.
Yeah.
So we don't know, you know, with Tyson Fury up against the wall and say, look, you want those belts back? This might be your last hurrah. If you think you want to fight a few more years, you got to get the belts back. Otherwise, you know, who wants to fight you? And then we'll see if he gets more serious for this rematch, right? That's coming up, what, November?
Something like that, yeah.
Fury and Usyk. So we'll see. But those are great too. Love to see rematches like that. You know, Canelo's talking about a Bivol rematch. Well, you know, we'll see what happens with Bivol and Better Be It. I'd rather watch that one anyway.
I want to see the rematch, but that main event better not go on past like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. I mean, I'm serious. Because there's no way, you know, that, I mean, yeah, they're getting a lot in pay-per-views, but from what I heard, they're losing money. Now, understandably, you know, Turkey's got all the money from the Saudi Arabian money behind him. He probably doesn't care if he loses money. He'd rather just put on a show and be surrounded by rap stars, you know. But they got to think of the fans. They got to think of the fans.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see. Like I said, the only good thing about it is going back to what I was saying is that they're putting good fighters up there and they're trying to show some value versus like, let's say, Jake Paul. It's all entertainment, no fighting, you know, and some others that are out there doing this.
Yeah.
You know,
But it's
do
the
it.
undercard of the Jake Paul fights. As long as he keeps the undercards interesting on his fights, then, you know, it's funny because I was at the last Jake Paul fight in Tampa, and everyone boos him. They booed him when he won. They booed him when he entered. I mean, I've never heard so much booing in one arena at one time. Never. Never.
It's finally coming around mainstream now. Things that we've been saying since day one that, you know, he's not fighting fighters. Now everybody else is saying it too, right?
Yeah,
now
but they're all paying. They're all buying the tickets to go in there and boo this guy.
They put up his brother
Yeah.
coming out of the limousine, Logan Paul, on the big screen, and then he got booed also. And then they showed Hulk Hogan immediately, and everyone went nuts for Hulk Hogan. It was that was pretty amazing. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, him and his brother get booed.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're the main attraction of the whole arena. I mean, they're the ones that people want. They want to see him get knocked out, That's what they wanted to see. They wanted to see Mike Perry knock him out.
Yeah.
But wasn't anything close to that.
But it's not so much. I mean, okay, yeah, maybe some people are right, Steve. They're looking for him to get knocked out. But I think other people just want to see him actually fight fighters. Okay, I'm not saying Mike Perry's not a fighter, but I'm saying he's not a boxer. So if you're in a boxing ring, fight a fucking boxer. What are you doing? You know, it's getting tiresome already because it's how long has it been? And now it's the whole talk of I want to be the cruiserweight champ. I want to be the whatever he wants to be. Okay, well, I mean, you got people that are fighting club fights right now that are fighting better opponents than you are and have been doing it for many years and have 50-0 records that nobody's ever heard of before, and they've earned those shots to actually be in there and fight something like that. So
right, you should go fight a guy like Dave Morrell.
I thought the idea was that he was starting to progress. I understand he's trying to build up a record, so he's got to find ways of he's doing like a celebrity type of fight. He's building towards actually fighting real fights. Great. Okay, so then how do you go to like a Tommy Fury who is entry level boxing, like just kind of getting his career started? It's like now you finally got in a room with a boxer, but you stopped short of it because you lost, and you said, let me scale back and let me go back to people that don't know how to punch, that don't know boxing training. It's stupid. You got to progress forward. You don't go backwards.
Yeah, he's getting paid though, Mike.
I understand, but he's getting booed. The conversation.
Who cares if you get booed if he's getting paid?
But the conversation we're having is about getting booed, right? You want respect. You want to earn the respect. Earn it. Like, show what you can do. Actually fight. Get out there and fight. I mean, if he gets a crap beat out of him against a real boxer and loses, but he stayed with him, let's say however many rounds they decide they want to fight with their weird schedule, but he stays with him, and it's like, oh, okay, you're a little bit of respect. Like, he took a beating. The man took a beating, but he actually showed what he can do, he's capable of. I think he can possibly progress from here. Let's see what he can learn from it. And
his brother went the distance with one of the greatest boxers in history
in an exhibition match. That wasn't.
It doesn't matter what it was. He didn't knock him out.
Yeah, but it was the same kind of thing. Floyd Mayweather knew it wasn't a real fight, and he didn't care. It was the same thing. Like, by the way, I didn't even pay attention, but I understand that like Mayweather wiped the floor with Gotti in that rematch that just happened the other day, but I haven't seen it yet. Have you guys even watched that fight?
No.
Okay.
I saw parts of it on Instagram, and it was so boring that I didn't watch it. People were showing it on their lives. It was boring, Mike.
One thing I heard was that apparently the referee was doing some crazy nonsense, and Mayweather was getting very irritated by it. So they replaced the referee mid-fight.
Yeah, the ref kept stopping the action because she was saying that I don't know, it was hitting behind the head or something, some nonsense. But I'm like, no one's really getting hurt anyway. But I guess Mayweather just didn't want the action being stopped. So imagine you fire the ref in the middle of the fight and then get another one. Like that happens.
Mayweather fired the ref. Mayweather was like,
Mayweather fired the ref.
Yeah, I don't want or get this ref out, bring somebody else.
Yeah.
Hey, you judges, I don't like to look at you. Let's here's my brother.
Yeah. Well, how do you
have that? You have that I lost? How did I lose that round? You have that I lost that round? What are you, nuts?
You're out.
No. You guys, you didn't read those scores right. Yeah. Here, let me read the cards.
Something wrong with that, sure.
There's something wrong with that.
So tune in to the Fighting News every Tuesday night. We're going to be doing this. We're going to have fighters on, and we're going to talk about current events. And as we progress, it's going to be more standardized on what we do and how we do it.
Standard? What do you mean by that, Steve?
And more going to be an outline of how we run the show. The Fighting News is on YouTube. YouTube. Check it out. Watch the videos. Watch the commercials when they go on, or click the skip button. It doesn't matter. Instagram at The Fighting News. Facebook at The Fighting News. You have events coming up. You're a promoter. Put the event up. Tag The Fighting News. If you're on Instagram, tag The Fighting News. We will help you promote your event on the Fighting News platforms. We have millions of people watching, million views, millions. The platform is millions.
Let me fix my hair. Millions.
The platform is millions. Correct.
Holy.
A video on the Fighting News Instagram page got over 59 million impressions and hits. So that was a viral video. Other videos have gone
small
viral.
Country.
Shannon Briggs, 3 million hits. So it's people are tuning in for sure. Millions.
And what about Mike's story breaking the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather when that first came out?
Yes, that's millions of people, Mike. That was breaking news. Now people are still tuning in to the Fighting News for some more news like that. And I heard a rumor, but I didn't see no contracts being signed or anything like that, Mike. But I heard a rumor.
Yeah.
That
last week
a Mike Tyson fight is not going to happen. So I don't know, but we will see.
You mean the Mike Tyson fight? The Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight is not going to happen? You heard a rumor about that?
I heard a rumor.
Well, now you got to spill the beans now, Steve. I mean, news. This is new. The fighting news.
It hasn't been confirmed yet, Matt. So I'm not the one who's going to break the news, but I heard a rumor that the fight is not going to go on, and they're just flying around doing publicity stunts, and the actual fight is not going to take place. So at the end of the day,
I could guess that, and we've been saying that for a long time that this fight's never going to happen.
Okay, so
but
it's a rumor. So until the most reputable sports boxing stations report it, you heard it here first at the Fighting News.
Well, who's more reputable than us?
That's right.
You got to get that scoop. You got to go in and you got to do some investigative journalism.
We don't make shit up.
We're working on it.
We don't make it up. We tell you when we know it, when you know it's true. That's the thing.
That's right.
And just like I said, I started to allude to it, I think, on the last week's show, right? That Mayweather, after the Gotti thing, that they're talking about fighting, he's fighting. And we talked about that a week ago. And, I'm still hearing more and more things about it. I just don't have a confirmed date or anything, but I'm hearing that that's what the next plan would be. Mayweather wants to stay busy. He's trying to find a big name in there. We talked about Chavez last week. We're trying to figure how old he was, right? What did we determine? He was 58? I don't remember how old we said he was.
Mike Tyson's 58.
50-something.
No, Chavez.
Right.
So we said it was possible. Why not? 48-year-old versus a 58-year-old. What's the difference? It's not that much of a difference.
10 years is the difference.
I'm saying as far as these two fighters having fought their careers, who has more mileage on them though?
Chavez. Are you kidding? Well, actually, I don't know. Chavez has more fights for sure, but
Mayweather's staying busy, blah blah blah. Okay, look, if it's
so Mayweather has how much money, Mike?
Mayweather has how much money?
Yeah, he's a billionaire. He's on the billionaire list, right?
He has to be.
Okay, so no, he is. He's on the Forbes billionaire list.
Yeah.
So, there's only a few people on that list. Most of them are soccer players, and Floyd is the only boxer that's on that list to be a billionaire, right?
Right. Makes sense.
Conor McGregor's almost there. He's almost a billionaire. He's not there yet.
Yeah.
So like we were just talking about the you can die in the ring, right?
Yeah.
Is it worth your life to fight when you are a billionaire already? What's the point of fighting if you're a Mayweather? Any exhibition or not, you can get hit in the head and you can have a brain hemorrhage and you could die. in the ring.
It could happen. Look,
It could happen.
I guess with a
You
fighter
can
like
slip in the shower and that can happen.
yeah.
Come
Right.
on.
But what I was going to say about Floyd, though.
Well, you're getting shot in the head, Mike, Matt. It's
Okay.
a lot different than
What I'm saying
falling
is,
in the shower.
with Floyd Mayweather, as we all know his career, which is the reason why, Steve, when you asked me, and Mayweather is not there and will never be on my Mount Rushmore of fighters, is because he's a very, very boring fighter. He always has been, because all he does is use defense. And that's great. That's his strategy. That's what's won him all these fights and kept him, undefeated. He's boring. So he's never
When he
going to have
was younger, he wasn't as boring.
Not as boring. Right. When he was money. Right. No, what was he back then? He was somebody else. He changed his names a few times.
Yeah,
but
he was no Sugar Ray. That's for sure. He was no Sugar Ray Leonard.
So Steve, he he's defensive. So he's just going to protect himself from anything like that. He's always going to, and of course, anything can happen.
Can he mess up? Can he mess up and get caught?
No.
It's like anything. That's
with
like
his defense. With his defense.
Yeah, but
no.
it's the same thing as if we're sitting in a bar, we're watching a fight, and we spill a beer on the guy next to us, and he frickin' clocks us. I mean, it's the same thing, right? It's just going to happen. If it happens, it happens. But yeah, I understand he's in a ring and there's potential danger involved with doing that, but I don't think he's putting himself in a position where he's going to get harmed by anyone. Like he fought Logan Paul. Logan Paul's not a fighter, so there was really no danger there.
But he hit him a bunch of times. And he won a few rounds too while he was at it.
Okay. But he's not a killer, right? So he doesn't have a history of hitting anybody hard enough that's going to really damage anyone. I don't know. Mayweather wants to have some fun. He also has a severe gambling problem. So we don't know how much money he's actually blowing at the casino every weekend. Yeah. So maybe he feels like, crap, I had a pretty bad 2023. I lost $200 million gambling. I'm going to have to make that back in 2024 with a couple of fights. Yeah. I kind of think that might be his mindset. He's just like, he wants to make up for some of the losses that he took.
Comment below on YouTube if you want to see Floyd Mayweather's more fights, or you think he should call it a quits and just concentrate on bringing up fighters, which he's doing, but not so much as himself promoting himself. So comment below.
And even Tyson too. Comment about Tyson. Do you think that he should go forward with this fight or not?
Comment below. Does Mike Tyson, what do you think? Is the fight on, off? Should he go through with it or not?
Yeah, and should it be sanctioned?
Yes.
But
so, good. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in every Tuesday. We're going to do this every Tuesday, and we're going to sign off now, and the fighting news is going to go. Last words, Mike?
No, like we said, a couple of big fights coming. Right now the biggest name they're talking about is Canelo Berlanga. So just watch out for that one coming around the corner. And then, there's be some others to follow. I think they're going to come in rapid motion when they start coming around. So watch out for that. We'll give you some
rapid fire.
Yeah, rapid fire.
Matt,
we'll see what's coming up soon. We'll tell you.
Look, I just want to say good night. And if you've been hanging around for all 1 hour and 10 minutes of this show, God bless you.
Right.
Doses.